It's a Thursday? Oh, I guess this'll work. Hello, welcome back to the Three Thumbs Up podcast. I am your host, Owen Beatty, and I still have three thumbs. Get over it. I'm here on a Thursday, as you may see. I'm pretty lazy, so I'm just uploading, as I'm recording this podcast, the Monday podcast up on YouTube right now, and it's almost done uploading, so that'll be up on YouTube relatively right before the Habs game, which is tonight. Like hours, like 3 hours from the time I'm recording right now. It's 4:15 right now, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped as hell. It's gonna be amazing, even though I don't want to be negative, but I'll talk about that in a second. I'll explain my reasoning why I'm recording a podcast on a Thursday. I'm recording on a Thursday because I feel like it. That's it. That's because I feel like it. I'm recording because I want to do two a week because there's a lot to talk about, and I want to get a podcast out before the first game of the Habs season. They are in Buffalo tonight for Buffalo's home opener, and it's gonna be it's gonna be great. I'm pumped. I'm gonna have my Habs jersey on. And if we don't win tonight, I'm not gonna wear it the game after that because I believe in voodoo. And hockey season officially started yesterday. The first game of the season were the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Winnipeg Jets. And they were not the Winnipeg Jets, they were the Losepeg Jets. I'm sorry, I'll go home. They did not win that game. They were the Losepeg Jets. The Toronto Maple Leafs absolutely whooped the Jets. They whooped them. Now, I watched some of the game, but I was watching a horror movie called The Chucky because I didn't feel like watching the Leafs game because I'm not a Leafs fan. I've seen highlights and my dad complaining about stuff and things. First period, Toronto were getting penalties after penalties after penalties. And then shots on shots on shots by Winnipeg. And Mr. Nazim the Dream Kadri put one in the net. First goal of the NHL season, not only for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but for the entire league. Now, usually, Max Pacioretty gets the first goal in the NHL every year against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's how it was for before last season. He would score on the first shot in the first game against Bernier. I almost said Steven Bernier, but that's another player. I'm pretty sure he plays for the Islanders. Steven Bernier. Jonathan Bernier, the goalie, played for the Leafs, but Nazim the Dream taken over. Power play goal assisted by JVR and Tyler Bozeman. And then it just kept coming. 2 minutes later, just under 2 minutes later, the real deal, not James Neal, but James Van Riemsdyk gets a goal, and 43 seconds later, William Nylander gets a goal, and that's one for my pool. That's one for my hockey pool. I picked Willie Nee. He's the bomb. Go Willie Nee. Sorry. I'm not supposed to be cheering for the Leafs, but in the second period, Patrick Marleau got his first as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Good for him. And then he got his second. And then Mitch Marner scored. And poor Steve Mason. Then Mark Scheifele scored. And then Austin Matthews scored. And then Perreault scored. And that was a 7-2 victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs yesterday. Frederick Anderson played unfriggin' real in that game. Stopping, if I can do math, 29 shots of 31. That's Wait. Oh, never mind. That's how many shots Toronto got. Winnipeg had 37 shots, and Frederik Andersen made 35 saves on 37 shots for the victory. I did not pick him up in my pool. My pool. My pool. Not my pool, but a pool. Winnipeg had 8 power plays yesterday. Do you know how? Guess how many they scored on. The answer is 0. Nada. 0. Ooh, that reminds me of a Montreal Canadiens power play. We have 8 power plays. Leo Komarov's helmet. We penalize him for that, and we don't score. And the first in the Atlantic, the Toronto Maple Leafs hoist the Stanley Cup in the first game of the NHL season. It's the first time it's been done. You know, congrats on the Stanley Cup, Toronto. That's all the Leafs fans last night and this morning. Yeah, Toronto! Yeah, Toronto Maple Leafs all the way! That's not how I was, because I'm not a Toronto Maple Leafs fan or a Winnipeg Jets fan. But I do like seeing Canadian teams succeed. Speaking of Canadian teams, Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers destroyed the Calgary Flames, Mike Smith's Calgary Flames, 3-0. And it was a productive game. Is Connor McDavid amazing or what? He's really, 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 like over 9,000 good at hockey. He's so incredibly good. He's he's unreal. I got a notification on my phone as I was watching the Cult of Chucky movie. Okay, before I say anything, that movie went to DVD and Netflix. It didn't even go to theaters. I'm a big horror fan and it sucks. It sucks seeing that. I don't like seeing that even though Chucky and all of that has run its time. It's been on forever, but it has a lot of story to it, and I love a good old-fashioned horror film. It's cheesy, a doll killing people, but it's incredible. I don't know. It gives me nostalgia because I had a huge fear of Chucky as a young kid. It's like a wee little chap, wee little chap, like a teeny tiny little thing. I had a big fear of Chucky, and something about dolls with knives. It's not fun. Annabelle has got nothing on Chucky. That's all I'm going to say. Annabelle has got nothing on Chucky. That's all I'm going to say. How did I get into that? Connor McDavid is really, really good at hockey, as everybody should know. He is a bust, isn't he? Jeez. Connor McDavid scored the first goal, and Leon Draisaitl and Patrick Maroon assisted. I'm sad because I really wanted the first pick in the pool to get Connor McDavid. That's who I was gonna pick. Who did I pick in the first round? I picked Patrick Kane with my third overall pick because Crosby went second overall, and I'm like, who is good for 80 plus points? Uh, knock on wood. Knock on wood. I'm scared of jinxing anything. I really am. Like, I don't want the Chicago Blackhawks to do well, but like I want Patrick Kane to do well for my pool because there's money on the line. And I love me some money. Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid went first overall. Crosby went second overall. I got Patrick Kane third overall. And then it was the third round, and I Leon Draisaitl to the same person. I'm like, yeah, that's smart. That's smart. And then I picked Eichel, really hoping Eichel has a great season, except for tonight, because I don't want him to, do the thing against Montreal. And then Connor McDavid scored again in the second period. And then Connor McDavid scored again in the second period. 3 goals. 3 goals. A natural hat trick for the Edmonton Oilers. Was it a natural hat trick? It's a natural hat trick, I'm pretty sure. Assisted by Leon Draisaitl and Milan Lucic. I'm stupid. I feel awful about my pool because I picked some players. It was in the moment, and I should have picked Patrick Maroon. See, he had a juggernaut season last year, considering he played with McDavid and Draisaitl. He really didn't play with McDavid all season long. He just had a really good season. He scored, 30 plus goals last year? Should have picked him in my later rounds. Jeez. It was a fun game. I didn't stay up. It was a school night, and I watched the highlights and everything. It was fun seeing Connor McDavid whoop Calgary's behind. I'll cheer over Calgary for the Oilers any day. I'll cheer for Connor McDavid. I'll cheer for Leon Draisaitl. I'll cheer for the Oilers because the Oilers have had it rough in the past decade plus. Speaking of rough, the Montreal Canadiens are rough with a R-U-F-F. Rough, like woof. Like a dog's roughing right now in... can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. My mic isn't amazing. There's a dog. It's been barking for an hour now. It's still barking. I'm hoping it really doesn't. That's why I continue to talk and like without breathing. Like I'm dying over here. I don't want to die. But I keep talking so you don't hear the dog in the background. It's been doing it forever now and it's driving me crazy. I don't want to say shut up dog because people who don't like dogs go to hell. It does this every day. Every day. Every single day. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. It's driving my parents crazy. I don't know about my brother, but it's driving me crazy. And see, I usually sit in the basement, and my basement is really soundproof, and you really can't hear anything from outside, and blah, 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 blah. Rough. Rough. Rough! Woof! Woof! The Montreal Canadiens announced the 2017-2018 opening night roster. What a transition, Owen. You are amazing. Coach Claude Julien and his squad getting together. They're going to chill for a bit, 82 games. We'll get this regular season officially underway Thursday night against the Buffalo Sabres. Woo! Oh, I don't know. I think I'm in love with Victor Meaty. I really hope he doesn't end up being an Alexei Emlin or something like that. Oh, and there, I'm just reading the article now. Marc Bergevin, 23-man opening night roster on Tuesday evening. This was on Tuesday. Just missed it by a day. Dang it. 13 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders. I'm going to read them off for you. And currently, David Schlemko is currently on the injury list. He is on the injured reserve list. He's a good depth defenseman for Montreal, but we have some pieces. Listing off the forwards, Paul Byron, Philip Daniel, Jacob Delarose making the lineup. I don't know if he'll make the... Let me... 13 forwards. I don't know if he'll play opening night. Maybe he's there to be a scratch player because there are 13 forwards, and that's not how lineups work. Jacob Delarose, Jonathan Drouin. Whoa! Oh, I'm really hoping he does something really sweet tonight. Ooh, I'm excited. Ooh, it's giving me shivers. Woo! Alex Galchenyuk, Brendan Gallagher, who I really hope he has a bounce back season, and I think he can do a lot better than he did last year. I truly think he is just scared of breaking his hand again. He's broken his hand twice in 2 seasons, and it must suck. It must suck because he's a really gritty player. He's very aggressive. He's really up in your face, and he uses his hands a lot. I don't want to compare him to Sean Avery. He's not Sean Avery. Sean Avery and Martin Brodeur. Oh, aren't they a sweet couple? Brendan Gallagher, one of my favorite Montreal Canadiens, had. I'll check out his stats. I'll check out his stats. Brendan Gallagher's stats last season. I should have brought this up. Hockey DB, thank you, Hockey DB. This dog is still barking. It's driving me crazy. He had 10 goals and 19 assists last year. His worst season since 2012, 2013. Ugh. Man. Ugh. Oh no. 28 points in 44 games in 2012, 2013. Yeah, 44 games. That isn't awful, but this is his worst season in his career. He was injured, played 64 games, 10 goals, 19 assists, like I said, 39 penalty minutes, plus 7, because plus minus means everything. So, he is probably our best right winger at the moment. I would say so. I'm trying to think of our right wingers. Yeah, he is our best right winger. He shoots right. He's right-handed, and he's small, but he's gritty, and we need gritty guys like that. And he has shown to put up points in seasons past. He had 2 goals opening night last year, and I'm hoping that transitions this year. He's 25, and I really don't want him to go anywhere because he's one of my favorites. He's an assistant captain on this team. He was a steal in the draft, and he's a good character player. He can show up. He can show up. I'm 100% sure of that. Really hoping he makes a difference this season. Yeah, really hoping. And who else do we got? I keep saying Alexia Hemsky. Ales Hemsky. He's a veteran. He is a replacement, apparently, for Radulov. I don't know what they're doing with that. Radulov. Radulov. Sorry. Oh, God. Oh, God. Les Hemsky. He can play bottom line minutes. That's all. He better not be in the top 6 ever. Injuries, I guess. And here, yeah, I don't want to. I'm just gonna skip that one. I'm gonna skip Hemsky. I don't really want to talk about it. I miss Radulov and Markov. Montreal and Marc Bergevin. No, he's not gonna miss them. He's gonna be like, but our defensive core is better than it was last year. Blah, 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 blah. I'm making a cup run. Blah, blah, blah. Oh God. Charles Houdon, who impressed. Thank you, hockey gods, for making Marc Bergevin make a decent decision on Tuesday, keeping Charles Houdon in the lineup. He's gonna be playing. He's gonna be playing probably top 9 role, probably third line, fourth line, center, something around that. If they don't want to play him center, play him in the bottom lines. Like, I don't see him being a top 6 player with Montreal. Maybe not now, maybe later. But Montreal and their coaches have a problem with shifting their lineups all the time. Like, when Michel Therrien, he who shall not be named, Voldemort, cough cough, used to be our coach last year, Valentine's Day. Do you remember that? Oh, it was a beautiful day when we fired him. Uh, uh, yeah, he had the problem. He put up this dartboard or one of these, Wheel of Fortune. He would put that and faces of players and throw darts at it and whatever it would land on as it was spinning, and he'd be like, let's see, Philip Daniel center, top line center. His left winger will be. Oh, it makes sense. It is Max Pacioretty on the left wing, and your right winger, and Paul Byron, even though he's a left winger. Yeah, this makes perfect sense in a very thick French accent. That wasn't very French. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't disrespectful. uh, who else do we got? Tari Lekkonen, one of my favorite players from last year. He's definitely impressed me and plenty of Montreal Canadiens fans in the past season. He had a very good season for the Montreal Canadiens, probably one of the best rookie seasons for the Habs in a long time. And I don't think there's much else to say. He's a great player and he can snipe some goals. He can snipe some, snipe and silly. That's what I want to be seeing this season. He has the ability to score, and I think if he plays with a good centerman and a good right winger, they can dish off to him. He knows how to pick corners, and he's see the goals he got last season. A lot of them weren't super pretty, but a lot of them were really nice tip-ins or really gritty, like 5-hole or just past the pad. I'm hoping to see more of that this season from Atari Lekkonen. Atari, not the company, the name. Atari Lekkonen. Love that. And see, I'm a person who is very dumb and doesn't know how to spell, but I know this means nothing to anybody. I know how to spell the name Lekkonen. Lehkonen. See, why am I talking about this? Why not? I have to fill in with something. Former Montreal Canadiens player, Mr. What's his face? Uh, Beaulieu? Something Beaulieu? I feel so bad. We just traded him in the off season for like a third round pick or something like that. What's his first name? This is awful because I kind of liked him. Boulier. His last name, I don't know what it is with me. I just don't know how to spell with that. I don't know how to put all the U's and the E's and the A's together. So, bleh. Why am I? What? This means nothing. This is awful. This is gonna be outdated, and this is gonna be outdated tomorrow. But if you listen, I'd really appreciate it. Who else do we got? We have Torrey Mitchell, who has had some bright spots. He's a fast player. He's probably going to be playing bottom line roles too. Makes sense. He can score if he can come up sometimes and score. And we traded him. When did we trade for? We traded for him when we traded for Petrie. We traded for Petrie from the Oilers. I'm pretty sure we traded a second to the Oilers for Petrie. And we got Torrey Mitchell from the Buffalo Sabres. So, Buffalo, am I right? Speaking of Buffalo Sabres, the Montreal Canadiens have made a trade. Not right now, but they made a trade. Let me just Google. I want to get their names right. I don't want to just... The Montreal Canadiens. Let me go to their website. There you go. There you go, Habs. News. Let me go to news. Come on, computer. Are they gonna give me? Are they gonna? No. No. Computer, this trade literally just happened. Don't. Why are they doing this to me? Computer, you're not working. Yeah, I mean, it isn't a huge trade, but the... Whoa! Whoa! Oh, whoa. Excuse me? NHL.com? How do you spell Canadians? I mean, the word Canadians is in, like, I'm Canadian and I'm proud to be Canadian because I am proud to be Canadian. But that's not the team name. How? I, uh, I'm getting very, I know this is very irrational, but they spelt it with an A, not an E, and I'm mad. I'm mad. Oh my, oh, it's the end of the world. I can't read this post. Oh, maybe because I translated it from, oh, maybe. Oh, I don't know if I can get mad now. Oh. Hmm. Oh, oh God. I don't know if I can get mad now. Can I? I don't know because I was too lazy to go to the English paid and English paid? What is a paid? Paid is I want to get paid. I went to the French page and croissant, yeah, baguette, and I'm so mean. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. You're listening to me. They spelt it Canadians as in IAN, not IEN. The Montreal Canadiens acquire Nicolas Delorier from the Buffalo Sabres. In return, the Buffalo Sabres get in return defenseman Zach Redmond. Oh, this dog! Shut up, dog! I'm going to hell. I'm sorry. So Delorier is very big. He's 6'1", 215 pounds. He's a Quebecer, and he will report to the Laval Rockets in the American Hockey League. 26-year-old had scored 30 goals, including 12 goals in... No, 30... Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, my God. He's great. He was great in NHL 17 for fourth-line defense. I don't know. That's just NHL 17. He had scored 30 points, including 12 goals in 211 games since debuting in 2013-2014. Well, the Buffalo Sabres really bad. I'm not gonna disagree with anything. He was a third-round pick. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, there's not much to complain about. It was a cap for cap thing. Zach Redmond, Buffalo Sabre. He's going to be depth there, depth at best. And Nicolas Delorier is going to be depth at best. But he was great in NHL 17. That's all I have to say. What was I talking about? Oh, right. We were doing the Montreal Canadiens roster. Where was I? Who did I leave off on? Torrey Mitchell? Did I leave off on Torrey Mitchell? So, well, you know all about Torrey Mitchell, I explained. Captain Max Pacioretty is in the lineup. I'm not surprised. Mr. Wolverine, Mr. Healing Factor, which, oh God, knock on wood. Oh God. So, here, I'm gonna have a talk. I'm gonna have a talk with forward Max Pacioretty. Max, Captain, my captain. He is not my president. Sorry, it just came out. I'm sorry. Okay, get over it. Jeez, damn it. Sorry. Max Pacioretty, what do I want to say to you? You go out and you score goals during the regular season. Congrats, you've scored more goals than I will ever score in the NHL. But Max, you have this disease. You have this disease where you can't score during the playoffs, or you don't show up during the playoffs. Captains are meant to be the next step in the playoffs. They're supposed to bring the energy, and he didn't really bring anything. Did he even have a point in the play? I'm sure he had a point, but did he didn't score in the playoffs. He had a beautiful breakaway. I'm having Vietnam flashbacks with these Montreal Canadiens game five or six. Max Pacioretty was on the breakaway, and Henrik Lundqvist happened, or Max Pacioretty's brain happened. I see. I think my relationship with Patchy is a bit tainted throughout the years. His first season, I'm having more flashbacks. Condon. He was captain. He was voted in captain by the Montreal Canadiens. And it was that season. Do you know the season I'm talking about? You know the season? You know the season where something happened a couple games into the season I don't want to talk about because I don't want to do anything to the universe. Universe, please don't hate me. In the name of the Gretzky, the Bobby Orr, and the goalie posts. Yeah, it's just kind of tainted with him, even though all these other players were on the team. Most of them, at least. The roster is very similar to when that season happened. You know the season I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about that season. I don't know. I love him to death, but I can hate him to death. Sometimes hate is a strong word. I can strongly, very, very, very dislike him at times. He had a terrific regular season with the Habs last year. It just took him forever to turn on the Jets, and then his boat blew up before the playoffs. Yeah. And then Mr. Tomas Blokenek, Mr. Czech Republic guy. Do I? Thomas, what has happened to you? Oh my God, please. He's probably gonna be the second line center this year. God dang it! Why are you doing this to me? Why? Why, Mark? He's still with this team. It's his last year of his contract. Thank God, that awful contract. Oh my God, I'm ripping my hair out of my skull. Am I getting mad about nothing? Probably. But Mark, he's still on this team. But his contract expires at the end of the season, so I'm okay with it. I'd trade him for a bag of pucks, but what are you gonna do about it? Hey, his contract's up this year, along with 800 other Montreal Canadiens this season. Yay! At least one of them isn't Carey Price. Thank God, I can't lose him. And then the last forward on the Montreal Canadiens roster, Andrew Shaw, former Stanley Cup champion. Did he win two with Chicago, or one? Did he win two or one? I think he won two. So Andrew, I'm going to have a talk with you. Are you going to have a step up season this year? Montreal has a problem with injuries. Why can't we just have a year like Toronto last year where we had 0 injuries? We always get injuries, and it's not fair. He had a concussion last year. It was against the Boston Bruins, and I can remember it. I can remember it vividly. He got hit, and he was rocked. He went to the dressing room. And he was gone. He was never really the same after that. he has done great. Montreal really didn't do great during the preseason, but he played good. He had a goal in the Florida game, or both Florida and Ottawa game. So that's good. I'll take it. Andrew Shaw, good for you, Shaw. I'm just hoping he can bring that Stanley Cup experience to the Montreal Canadiens. Dwight King. Mr. KHL. Dwight King. God, oh my God. Marc Bergevin's making me angry, and I'm not even... Ah! It's Marc Bergevin's fault. He did it. How did Marc Bergevin hurt you? It just kept happening and happening. All these character players. He didn't go out and trade for Matt Duchene or somebody really good, or it just all these character players just kept coming to the team. Like he had like four fourth lines. Steve Ott, who I didn't hate. Dwight King, Martinson, who's gone. There was too many of them. Too many character players. And it just... it's gonna be okay. Is it though? Another season with Marc Bergevin at the helm? You're really gonna say that to me? You're really gonna say that to me? You're really gonna say that to me? I don't know what to do. It's gonna be one of those seasons, man. It could be, or it could be great. You never know. It's hockey season. And here, let's hear about the defenseman, Karl Alzner, which I have heard a lot of threats made towards Alzner. Playoffs and off season. Why would you sign Alzner? I wish he would die. I've heard those. I've seen that was like, no, I'm not even kidding. People have made Washington Capitals fans have made death threats towards Alzner and how bad he played for them. Now, I almost said I'm not a Habs fan, but apparently I am, because this team is ruining my life. That's Steve Dangle quote of the day. This team is ruining my life. No doubt. It's turned me... Hockey is supposed to be my getaway place. This is where I'm supposed to get out my emotion. This is where, when I'm watching the TV, I get to yell and scream and yell and scream and yell. And that's all I get out. There is no happiness, only tears. Only tears, especially when the playoffs start. I'm all happy. It's like, it's our year. It's not your year, Owen. It's not your year. It's just going to be one of those years where you make it the first round of the playoffs and you're just like, oh no, it's New York. We should beat them, but like, I don't know. And then Ottawa beats New York, and then Ottawa brings Pittsburgh to a game 7, and then Pittsburgh wins the Stanley Cup. That could have been us, Montreal. That could have been us. Karl Alzner. I mean, he's slow, like most of our defensive core. Slow. But he's not Dan Girardi. Alzner. He has a Ironman streak at the moment. I don't know the specific amount of games. I read somewhere 500 or something, which is a lot. Don't quote me on that, but I read something. The number 500 is just in my brain. It's like, say 500. You know it's 500, Owen. Is it 500, Owen? Is it 500? Something around there. He has an Ironman streak, just like Shea Weber. Pretty sure Shea Weber has an Ironman streak. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to jinx anything. Knock on wood! That was the name of my Hey, my podcast just uploaded on YouTube. If you're listening to this now, it's like up on you. Wow. Montreal makes me so sad. Why do I talk about them so much? Carl Osner, he's not bad. Jordy Ben, not Jamie Ben. Jamie Ben I picked in my hockey pool. Ooh, Jamie friggin' Ben. Jordy Ben, his brother, the other brother who looks similar but has the beard and all, and Jamie Ben is like the really talented brother. But they're both talented in their own rights, even though Jamie Ben is probably the more loved son. Is that mean? I'm sorry. Jordy Ben, he's a quality, he's a very okay depth defenseman for the Habs this season. And then you have likely scratch Brandon Davidson, who we traded for from the Edmonton Oilers. Who did we trade to the Oilers? Is it David Desharnais? Was that the David Desharnais trade? Hallelujah, bye-bye, David Desharnais. Isn't he playing for New York this year? Poor New York. Oh, God. I hate myself. I don't want to talk about it because... Oh, no. Oh, we're going to play them this year in the playoffs, and then... Oh my God! Oh, he's gonna score in the first game against Montreal over in the New York series or something like that. Dang it! Dang it! Brandon Davidson. He's an okay defenseman. He's okay, like most of Montreal's defensive core. And then my favorite defenseman who has made me happy, who has given me youth, even though I'm not that old. Right now, in my heart, he's my favorite. He's my favorite defenseman for the Habs. No, Shea Weber. Me and his relationship is also tainted. Are almost. I can't speak English. Is tainted because PK Soup. PK. PK. How? Okay, I saw this on Twitter. Twitter is the bane of my existence. Twitter. Quote, why are people still upset about the PK Subban trade? Like, Shea Weber beat him in points and plus minus. Yeah, because plus minus is the stat that's gonna be like, is gonna make me like Shea Weber more than PK Subban. No! That's a no! But I hope Shea Weber does really good this season. Like, I'm not gonna cheer against him, but he is getting older. Like, what is the average age of our defensive core? Like, you could look at them and they're dead, but somebody forgot to tell them dead, right? Or yeah, they're just old. I mean, Victor Meaty probably levels it out. Joe Morrow, who is a likely scratch, I would say, and then Joe Morrow, we picked him up in free agency. I would say it's a decent pickup in free agency. Free agency, we also picked up Peter Holland and Phrase, something Phrase, used to play for Toronto. Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie is a quality NHL defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. I don't know. He's one of those players that can be very invisible, but that's when he's doing his job. And if you see him, it's probably him flopping the puck over or scoring a goal. It's one of the two. You don't ever see him making a big hit or stealing the puck off of somebody. He's a defenseman. He's doing his job. He's being a deadly silent killer in some cases. And then you have Mark Streit, the offensive defenseman, your new Marc-Andre Fleury. No, yeah. No, I don't want Marc-Andre Fleury. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry, Flower. Mark off! The new offensive defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, Mark Streit, the new Markov. That solves our problem apparently because he's so amazing. See, that's what I always hear. This because I do volunteer for a hockey team. That's all I hear. It's like, oh, but he's so much better than Markov. Did he win the Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh last year? He won the Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh. Did he? Was he on the Pittsburgh Penguins roster? I think he was. Did he win the cup? Was he? I can't remember. He's also another silent player who goes under the radar and is also very, very, very old. Speaking of old, Shea Weber. is an assistant captain this year, and I hope he snipes some big booming goals this season. I'm really hoping for that. Shea Weber. What else am I supposed to talk about? It's Shea Weber. Like, Shea Weber. Shea Weber. PK trade. Yeah, I said how tainted it is. It makes me sad. But what are you going to do about it? Shea Weber is your number one defenseman this year. And here's my reason why Victor Meaty should be playing with him. As I have said before, I can't remember which podcast specifically. I said Pacifically. Not in the Pacific Ocean specifically. Specifically, Victor Meaty should be playing with Shea Weber. My reason, Victor Meaty is fast, Shea Weber slow. Shea Weber big, Victor Meaty small. Victor Meaty puck handler. Defense go after Shea Weber because Shea Weber threat with puck. Victor Meaty passer, Shea Weber boomer. Victor Meaty pass to Pacioretty, pass to Galchenyuk, pass to someone else, goal. See, that was my explanation. Wasn't it perfect? No, Victor Meaty should play with Shea Weber this year because you have a guy like Shea Weber, the forwards and defense are going to be on him like flies on a piece of poop on a dry, hot Sunday morning. Because Shea Weber is the defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. If you can capitalize on him, he is probably was our fastest defenseman last year with Jeff Petrie. So Victor Meaty is fast and small. He's one of my favorites, and his new nickname, which I'm surprised I had not come up with before, Victor Meteor. It just, I don't know if that rolls off the tongue as well as like Chucky or Galley or Patchy. Meaty? Oh, wait. I got it. There you go, Meaty. Just add a Y, Owen. Just add a Y. Why? Why? Question mark? Victor Meaty, great. Sorry. Copyright. Yeah, he should be playing with Shea Weber this year. See, I don't know if you're getting mad about this, but this is a Montreal Canadiens centered podcast. Even though I do love talking about the NHL, I just didn't think there was a whole lot to talk about today, so I felt like speaking about my Montreal Canadiens roster. And the official roster, probably not for the whole season. Definitely not for the whole season. You're probably going to see calls ups and calls downs, and yeah. And then we have your goaltenders. I think it's a pretty easy guess. Your starting goaltender is obviously Carey Price. Like, no, El Montoya should be starting goalie for Montreal Canadiens this year. Easily. Right? No. El Montoya is a standard backup, an NHL backup player. He was backup on Florida. He's been backup in most places. Wasn't he drafted by New York? Which New York team? I'm pretty sure he was drafted by New York. I'm pretty sure he was drafted by New York. I don't want to Google it because there's too many tabs open. I don't want to talk about it. And see, a guy like Charlie Lindgren, I think he's more trade bait at this point. Right? Because Al Montoya is signed for 2 seasons. I believe he was signed to a contract extension last year. Pretty sure he's signed for 2 seasons. I think it's smart you keep a veteran NHL goaltender. He's older and he's a veteran in the goaltender position in the league. And a guy like Charlie Lindgren, who does have a lot of bright spots. He was up with Montreal when Montoya was down. And that's an option for Montreal if Montoya doesn't do as well as he did last season. Lindgren. Sorry, I thought I said Liljegren. No, Liljegren plays for Toronto. Owen Lindgren is a quality NHL backup, and he can probably be a starter in a city. Maybe a team like Arizona would like him, or a team who needs something, or a young starter who they can mold into being their starter, or their face of the goaltending, right? Because he's young. I don't think he's older than 25. I know he's not that old. I think he's just under 25. And then see, I don't see Lindgren being with Montreal after this season because you have guys like McNiven, who is your bona fide future goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens, which I've already talked about. He's absolutely fantastic, and I'm pretty sure he'll be playing for the Laval Rockets this year. And then there's Fucale. Oh, Fucale. Ah, Fucale. What is the word with Fucale? Hmm. I'm trying to think because he didn't have a very nice preseason. He let up a lot of goals. Montreal just didn't have a nice preseason, but this shows players in the lineup or young players that need to make their mark, and he didn't make that mark. He's still young. He still has a lot of growth to. He's still got a lot of ground to make, and he's still young. He's still growing. Can he go back to the ECHL? The whatever I can't. I'm not thinking right now. Can he go back to the ECHL, like play with Brampton like he did last year? He had a pretty good season with Brampton. Or does he play in the AHL? I think he's eligible because he's old enough. He can't go back to the minors. I thought McNiven can go back to the minors. I'm not totally sure about that. But Montreal has a lot of goaltending prospects. Lindgren, McNiven, and Fucale. And then you have two very, 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 not even, I don't want to call Carey Price decent. He is the best goaltender in the world, no doubt about it. Don't tell me Bobrovsky is best goaltender in the world. He's not. And then Al Montoya, who is a very steady backup for the Montreal Canadiens, and I hope he continues to prove that this season for the Habs. And that's the Montreal Canadiens roster for the 2017-2018 season. That's not totally set in stone for the entire season, but that's the opening night roster. Congrats, Montreal. Now, waivers. Waivers have been happening throughout just before the start of the 2017-2018 season. And there were a few things going on. Montreal could have picked up Delorier off of waivers, but they chose not to because they wanted to trade Zach Redmond. Cap for cap. It makes sense. Montreal wants to save some of their cap. Maybe a Tavares? I don't want to get my hopes up, but maybe a Tavares? Waiver wire. The Vegas Golden Knights almost said lost, but as Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights picked up who they could have acquired in the expansion draft, Malcolm Subban, who, see, I don't know, he was drafted by Boston in, when was he drafted? He's 23 years old. Hockey DB, what is this? He doesn't say when he was drafted. Hockey DB, wait, is that a thing? Hockey DB is lying to me, has been lying to me. But he was a Belleville Bowl boy. Oh yeah, just like his brothers. He hasn't really ever played for the Bruins, and He's young and he's a goaltender. I'm just gonna go to the Providence Bruins. Oh, I was squeaking there. In 2017, he was 11-14 with a 917 save percentage, which if you account that it's the AHL, that's pretty friggin' good for the American League, since you have to do all that crunching, and crunching is in like how a 920 save percentage is elite in the NHL or standard. A 917 save percentage in the AHL is fantastic, considering it's the AHL. And then he played a game for the Bruins in 2017. He had a 13 save percentage, and he's never really been able to get that chance. Who else does Boston have? It's not like he's going to be the starter, because Tuukka Rask is the starter for the Bruins. So they drop him to waiver wires. Anton Khudobin is the backup, I believe, for the Bruins. It's not like it's Gustav Nyquist. No, he's a forward, Owen. The monster, Gustavsson? Gustavsson. That was English, I'm sorry. So he's gonna be the backup for the Vegas Golden Knights this season. He's getting the shot because guess who was put on waivers? Mr. Former Colorado Avalanche player and now Chicago Wolves player, Calvin Pickard. Calvin Pickard. I am shocked to see this. And do you know why? Because his potential in NHL. I mean, I'm joking. His potential in NHL 18 is incredible. No, he's 25 years old, and he had his career season with Colorado last year, even though it was Colorado. He played 50 games. How many shutouts did he have? 2. Yeah, it was Colorado. I mean, his probably morale is very low after that season, but I thought he was going to be able to be the backup. Nope. Malcolm Subban is the official backup for the Vegas Golden Knights this season. So there's some goaltender clashing right there. Maybe if he has a good stint with Chicago, and maybe if Malcolm doesn't really do well with Vegas, and you don't want to tempt waiver wire fate. You really don't want to do that because you don't want to lose one of those players. But you did get them for free. But they're both good you can't call them prospects because they're two good goaltender players. They're young and they have some upside to them. Especially Malcolm Subban, which I'm shocked to see him being the backup for Marc-Andre Fleury this season. I'm surprised to see that he is the backup. But go Vegas, go, am I right? Go Vegas, go. So yesterday, Yager officially signed his contract, and I love the photos of Yager. Wasn't it just... I know if you're like a Vancouver Canucks fan or an Edmonton Oilers fan, you're like, ew, Yager, you should have just retired. But me being an Eastern Conference fan, I don't have to deal with Yager. And I'm okay with that because Yager's Yager, and I talk about Yager so much. I'm renaming this podcast to the Yager Cast. That's all I'm saying. He officially signed his contract with the Calgary Flames. It was yesterday. It was today the 5th. I'm pretty sure he announced it yesterday. Yeah, it was announced yesterday, I believe. Yes. He signed. Good contract, $1 million. Like I said, it was already in place that he had signed, but it wasn't it wasn't officially signed on the dotted line for Calgary. He showed up and he's like, yeah, I'm part of Calgary. He has played, this is his 9th team. I'm gonna just check the teams. So the Traveling Yager Club, they're gonna need an army to do this. So let's see. Come on, phone. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, you're having a ball. Sorry. Yeah, Pittsburgh, Washington, New York, Philadelphia, Dallas, Boston, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Calgary. You're gonna need an army to 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 just pull this off, right? You're gonna need an army to pull this off. And speaking of contracts, the Jack Eichel. This is how I'm gonna cap things off because I drafted Cack Eichel. Who's Cack? Cack Eichel. Jack Eichel is the player that I picked in the second round because Jack Eichel is phenomenal. I'm really, 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 really hoping he can stay healthy for the first time in his. Because he wasn't really healthy last season, but he had 57 points, 24 goals, 33 assists in 61 games. I'm pretty sure he had a knee injury last year, and he came back, and it was Eichel Tower all the way. And Buffalo, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Buffalo is my American team. I will cheer for them, but not tonight, because that's who Montreal plays in less than 2 hours. Oh my god! I haven't had dinner yet. I'm hungry as hell. I think we're having pasta tonight. Pasta. Jack Eichel is going to be having a lot of pasta. He's going to be buying all the pasta. That's exactly what he's going to be spending his $10 million over 8 years. $10 million over 8 years. People are defending this, and yeah, that's totally right. $10 million over 8 years. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't or shouldn't deserve this. People are like, it's a bad contract. It's gonna lead to the next lockout. And you know what? You're probably right with that contract. You're probably right with that statement. Sorry. He deserves it. He's the face of your franchise. Jack Eichel is your future captain, probably. He's the future of your team. He's 20 years old and he's friggin' phenomenal. And I'm hoping he has a fantastic season. I'm hoping Buffalo has a fantastic season. I want Jack Eichel to succeed because I want the money in my pool. But the contract is undeniable. That contract, he deserves it every which way. Every which way. But he hasn't played a full season. He basically did in 2015-2016. His first season, he had 56 points. That was Connor McDavid year. That was the year Antti Panarin, who I also drafted, had a fantastic season. He wasn't in the Calder race, but he goes up every season. 56, 57, 113 points in 142 games. Is he a franchise player? I would say he's a franchise player for Buffalo. Buffalo is, I think, let me think of the roster. Ryan O'Reilly, Kyle Okposo, who is back and healthy. You have Jason Pominville, who is back in a Buffalo Sabres uniform. You have Nylander, you have Reinhart, you have Evander Kane. I think it's just the depth. Zemgus Girgensons, does he still play for? Pretty sure. I think so. I don't hurt me. Yeah, you want to keep your franchise? You pay the man. Just like Edmonton did, you pay the man. He is going to start making... I didn't know you could do this. I didn't know you could sign somebody to an extension off of their entry-level contract or in the middle of their entry-level contract because this is his last season. on the entry-level contract, and this is Connor McDavid's last season on the entry-level contract. I didn't know you could do that. But apparently you can, and Buffalo made the right decision. I don't know how you can complain about that contract. Buffalo Sabres fans should be happy. I think it's a wonderful contract. I thought he was going to be like, nope, never signing. They fired the coach. They fired the general manager. And isn't Phil Housley the coach? Pretty sure. So, Buffalo, it's going to be a season. And it's going to be a season for every team in the NHL. It's going to be one of those. Toronto, Winnipeg, Oilers, Montreal, Buffalo, every team, Pittsburgh. Well, I didn't talk about their game, but Gensel and Malkin are in my pool. They had a few points last night. Matt Murray is also my goalie in my pool. He should have won. Dang it. But it's hockey season, everybody. Just be happy. Be happy. Be happy. If you're a hockey fan, it's time. It's time. It's Veda time. It's time. It's time for hockey. It's that time of the year. It's the 5th season. I mean, in Canada, there's only really 2. It's summer and winter. Hockey season is back, baby! I hope you had a wonderful time listening to my voice. And if you didn't, I don't really care because I love listening to my voice. If you enjoyed this, like I said, you can go to my Twitter and follow me if you want. My Twitter handle is RealBeatyMan. Go give a listen. And I'm broke, so this will not be on SoundCloud, or because I didn't want to pay and I'm kind of broke, so it will no longer be on SoundCloud. It'll be right here on my YouTube channel. And if you feel inclined, subscribe and leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave it there, or my Facebook page, 3 Thumbs Up Podcast. You can just search it and you'll find it, because I'm pretty sure it's the only one, I hope. So it's hockey season. What do you hope for? What are your hopes and aspirations? If you have any predictions this season, season? I'm a season. So we're just going to put some cinnamon on it. Sorry. Cinnamon. If you have any questions or predictions about your teams or my team, the Habs, leave them in the comments. Whatever, do what you want. Have a fantastic rest of your day, or wherever you're listening to this, or whenever you're listening to this. I will see you next Monday, and I will be talking about everything in between. Bye-bye.